All right. Hey, you know what? Kids, listen. Miss Carrie is running a little late today, and so I had two options. Wait for Miss Carrie or do the intro myself. I mean, this to me is a no-brainer. It is my chance to be like, hey, let me set the tone. Let me get the show taken off, zooming into the blue skies, nice and smooth like it. Okay, it's hey, hold on. What's happening, kids? Welcome to the Rancho Kids Show.
Hey, welcome back, everyone.
Yep, this is us doing our first and totally normal, same way we do it every time, intro. Welcome to the show, right?
Why?
What do you mean, why?
Why?
Well, you have to introduce the show. Like, if the show, you can't just be like, all right, here's a game. You have to, like, work your way into it with an intro.
But why would you say that this is our first and only intro? Of course it is. Like, we've been doing this for a year. We've been doing this for a year.
Is this our 1 year?
I think this is our 1 year.
I love that. Air 5. Yes, that's a great change of subject and also a really cool thing to celebrate. 52 episodes?
Right, and we've been doing, so every single time we just have an intro.
Yeah, the two of us here together, talking to the camera.
So that's why it's odd that you would say that.
I mean, well, I might, okay.
What?
Confession is good for the soul. That's what they say. Confession is good. Okay, so listen, as you know, you were running a little late, which is totally understandable, and I may or may not have tried to film like me and the kiddos like this. Me and the kids interest me. I was gonna do it, but then you showed up, and I was like, oh, what a relief! I did not want to do it by myself.
Do you know how many times you've been late, and I haven't tried doing an intro without you?
I don't keep track of things like that. This is not. It's not healthy for what we're doing here. You don't want to keep track of those things. What? Kids.
We're just gonna totally go rogue.
I wouldn't say that. Rogue is a word that kids wouldn't understand. I was gonna say I was gonna totally go creative and different, keeping things fresh, you know?
I think kids do know the word rogue.
Yeah, from Star Wars, but you know, that's basically, it's weird. So listen, let's put that behind us because it didn't happen. I mean, clearly the kids will never see it.
Okay.
They haven't seen it already, I guarantee that. And listen, I think it's time to just, are you okay?
I'm fine, I'm just processing.
Okay, well, I'm just thinking maybe we go to the game. What do you think?
I'm good. I'm good to do game. This is normal. This is what we do.
Okay, all right, listen, no guilt here. Is my face red? I feel like my face is getting warmer. I can't figure out why, but kids, we'll sort out the facial heat situation whilst you guys have fun with this game.
It's called guilt. That's what it's called. Guilt.
It feels more like
conviction.
Like
I call
clammy.
it conviction.
What's going on, kids? I am here in person to host you, and I'm excited because today's game is perhaps our most popular game. It's the game where you take pictures and letters and put them together to solve the puzzle and see if you can figure out what exactly I'm trying to get you to get. Now, I found out this week that these picture puzzles are actually called rebuses. It's a rebus. I know it's a weird word, R-E-B-U-S. Anyway, that is what they're called. I have a bunch of them for you. Let's go ahead and take a look at each one. Again, all you need to do is put it all together and blurt out the answer when you think you know it. Then I'll come on and tell you if you were right, or if you didn't know what it was, I'll help you solve it. So let's go ahead and get to round one. Enjoy this rebus. Okay, kids, I started you with a pretty simple one. We've got Ken and Barbie on the left there, but it's pointing at Ken. And then the guy in the middle, it says his last name is Tuck. And then last we have a key. So that's Ken, Tuck, Key, like the state, Kentucky. So the first word in this next rebus might be a little bit difficult, so I'm gonna cycle through 3 different pictures that should all help you understand what the first word is. All 3 pictures are intended to get you to the same first part of the word, all right? Check it out. Good luck. It's going to be tough. Just so you know, the three pictures were Moe from The Simpsons, Moe from The Three Stooges, and someone mowing their lawn. So those were all intended to get you to say Moe plus Anna from Frozen, and you've got Moana. Let's see what's next. This one is much more straightforward. We have a flower necklace called a lei plus a board and the letter A. That gives us lei, board, A, or Labor Day. It's a holiday, and I wish you a happy one. This one is super easy, kids. You have the seagull from Finding Nemo who says mine, mine, mine over and over, plus the letter C and a raft, so that's mine, craft. Looks like we've got snow on the left, plus the letter B and an or, and then last but not least, that's a bell that goes ding, so snow, B, or, ding, or snow, boarding. Starting on the left, we've got a toe plus an R, so that's tor, and a horse says neigh. And last but not least, that is some dough, so we have tornado. Tornado! Did you get it? I hope so. We got several more, so keep your brains moving. Too easy. This one is Dory plus some toes or Doritos. Kids, sorry I made that one so simple. Okay, kids, I got a little goofy with this one. It's Yoda plus Lay's minus the S, making it lay, and then that's a Bible verse that starts with he who. So that's Yoda, lay, he who. In other words, Yoda, lay, he who. That's a G plus itty for giddy, yup. And then we got a cow and a boy. So giddy up, cowboy. That is a camel's hump plus a cup of tea. Then we've got a dump and a golf tee. So that makes it hump tea, dump tea. All right, that balloon is being popped, so pop plus eyes, and then we've got a chicken with some sand and a witch. Popeye's chicken sandwich. I was hungry when I made that one. Everybody knows that a bee says buzz, and then that picture in the middle, that's a light. And then last but not least, 365 days equals a year, so it's Buzz Light Year. All right, kids, this is gonna be your final round. Good luck, because this one is a little bit tough. All right, our final puzzle was duh was the first word, plus bowl, and then we've got someone saying say cheese, so duh, bull, cheese, and then that guy is freezing, so he's probably saying brr, and we know from the picture that that bear is saying grr. So we have duh, bull, cheese, burger, double cheeseburger. Once again, I think I was hungry when I made this. So kiddos, I'm gonna leave you here. We'll be back with this game sometime in the near future because I enjoy making the puzzles. I hope you guys did well, but for now, it's back to myself and Miss Carrie in the studio. Look, kids, it's just, oh, no, man, I was not gonna say it's just me again. You were down there you were getting some out of your purse.
Do you need the spotlight today? Are you just feeling like you need it all to yourself? Is that what I'm hearing?
I don't know if that's what I'm saying. Here's what I will say. Lost in the clammy, warm-faced guilt. We kind of we didn't really just celebrate as much as we should.
I know, that is
52 episodes, Miss Carrie. It seems like just yesterday we're like, we should one day maybe do a show, but it's gonna be way so far off.
I know.
And then here we are.
And then COVID.
COVID said,
This is a
you're
miracle.
gonna do it. Yeah, you're doing it now.
COVID. I know. We found out, I think, on a Wednesday, and we filmed on a Thursday.
I love it. Kids, we couldn't be happier that we were forced into doing this because we really kind of enjoyed this entire process. It takes a lot of work, but I love the fact that we get to talk to the kids through the computers and the phone screens and all that stuff. 50
magic technology.
Yeah. I have another number for you. It's the number 104. 104. What does that number do for you?
I feel like it's somebody's birthday.
No, it feels like my birthday.
The Smucker's Jam.
Did you just say Smuckers? Kids, do you know what Smuckers is? Comment below and be like, yeah, give me some of that grape Smuckers.
You know, the Smucker's Jam. When you get to be like 100, I feel like you make it onto the Smuckers.
Yeah, it might be. But I will just say 104. If you can tell me why that number is significant, I will be very impressed. I will.
Is it 12 times 9?
I mean, might be 12 times something, but it's 104. Why is that so significant? 52 is half of 104.
Is it the number of hairs you have on your head?
Oh, kids, if you could see Davido's eyebrows, he went, oh, she went there. Oh, she went, oh, she just did, she said that? Oh my gosh, kids.
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna tell you guys something so that she can hear it.
Than that.
Kids, just because I rock doesn't mean I'm made of stone. That can hurt. Those kind of things can hurt. 52 times 2 is 104, Miss Carrie. 104 worship songs. That's how many songs we've done. And we're about to do 2. Our 103rd and 104th.
I love it.
That's great. Now you feel bad, huh?
I don't feel bad, but I think that's something to celebrate. That
Yes,
is definitely something to celebrate.
A lot of dancing and singing.
So we've got 103 and 104 coming up.
This is it right here.
And they're good ones, you guys. We've done this an entire year.
Wow.
And we've never done this song.
Get up out of there. Get out of here.
I'm telling you, I went through the
Have you been
archives.
saving this?
I don't know why I missed this song. It's one that we did. It's actually the very first video we ever did, and it's years ago. I'm telling you, the girls who are in the video with me, one of them is in college.
Wait.
The other two are almost flying the coop.
That's crazy.
So.
And in this video, they're quite young.
So they're so young.
Oh wow,
in
this is
video.
great. What's the name of the song?
It's called Praise Your Name.
Ooh, it's a good worship song.
And I'm telling you, if we look back over this last year and all that God has done, I know there's been some hard things, but man, when we look at
sorry. Sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah, that was me. I'm sorry.
I didn't do
That was
my
me.
warm-ups. So when we look back, oh my goodness, you guys, he has been so good. He's been so good to us in so many ways.
I couldn't agree more.
He's been faithful, and he's been our anchor, even though everything around us can feel like this sometimes, right?
I completely agree.
So we're gonna
Preach.
sing Praise Your Name.
I love it. And then what's the next one?
And then from there, we're gonna go into Won't Let Go, because you guys chose a couple weeks ago, and that was one of your favorites.
It
and
is
you
one of
picked
my
the other ones,
favorites.
so now we're gonna go back to
This
your
is great.
second favorite.
Kids, are you ready to do our 103rd and 104th worship song? Because if so, stand up and...
Wait, you didn't... Again.
What, I mean, put it right here so you... Okay, Davito, listen, I'm sorry. We're going to work through some stuff. You guys enjoy worship.
Roll it, Davito!
All I wanna do is praise your name, from the rising of the sun to the going down of the same. You are my God, and all I wanna do is praise your name. I praise your name, we lift our voices and proclaim. You are my God, and all I wanna do is praise your name. All I wanna do is praise your name, from the rising of the sun to the going down of the same. You are my God, and all I wanna do is praise your name. I praise your name, we lift our voices and proclaim. You are my God, and all I wanna do is praise your name. Whoa, whoa. praising. For all eternity, I will praise your name. Praise your name. Praise your name. All I wanna do is praise your name. From the rising of the sun to the going down of the same. You are my God, and all I wanna do is praise your name. I praise your name. The voices and proclaim. You are my God, and all I wanna do is praise your name. Whoa, whoa, yeah. Whoa, all I wanna do is praise your name. Praise your name. All I wanna do is praise your name. Praise your name. All I wanna do is praise your name. All I wanna do is praise your name. Praise your name. When my world feels like it's shaking, when my heart feels like it's breaking, walking over waves can be hard to do. Take my hand, you're the hero, Jesus. You're the one who never leaves us. Whatever comes my way, I'm holding on to you. You won't let go. You won't let go. I know I'm not alone in the fire. I know I'm not alone in the storm. You won't let go. You won't let go of me. When the world around me is changing, when my heart feels what I'm facing, standing in the flames can be hard to do. Take my hand, you're the hero, Jesus. You're the one who never leaves us. Whatever comes my way, I'm holding on to you. You won't let go. You won't let go. I know I'm not alone in the fire. I know I'm not alone in the storm. You won't let go. You won't let go of me. You won't let go. You won't let go. You won't let go. I know I'm not alone in the fire. I know I'm not alone in the storm. You won't let go. You won't let go of me.
One 103 and 104 did not disappoint.
No, they did not.
What did you think of 103?
103. It was like you're cleaning out the attic, right? And which we totally have one in our house.
Okay.
But
okay.
you think you know what's up there, and I'm like, wait a minute, what's this? It's like a treasure that you almost forgot about, and then there it was. It was like the original song. Boy, it was great. It was great.
We found a dead rat in our attic. No joke.
I'm sorry.
That's what
In that case, it was nothing. That song was nothing like your attic.
Thank you for bringing that up.
It was like my attic where we found something glorious.
Okay.
I won't tell you what it was because I need to think about what that was.
Well, Ryan, it is your time.
My time?
It is your
Oh,
time.
the
It is.
message.
The spotlight is all you, my friend.
Yes,
And,
no.
you
That's I mean, I would. So, okay, it's my chance to communicate that the spotlight is all there.
That's what
I'm.
You just passed the test.
I did?
You did. That's what I was going to get to. It's
Yes.
just like, but even still, it's not about you.
That's correct. That is correct. Now listen, kids, we have been talking about this idea of why did Jesus die? What was it that made this all come to be? And again, we just trust me, when we get to the end of it, you're going to see it's a pretty sweet reason that Jesus chose to die, that Jesus laid his life down. But there is some pretty important stuff that we can understand as why it happened. So we're going to go one step further. We're going to get into some very deep weeds. I think we did this. Yeah, we are again. Deep weeds. Sorry. Yes. There it is.
I was going to take them and then you took them.
Yeah, once again, we are really having a rough time today, but don't you worry, kids. Get your pens. Is that supposed to happen?
Every time.
Let's try that
Every
again.
time. There you go.
Let's go. Kids, get your pens, take your notes, because we are about to get down to some serious learning. What's happening, kiddos? It's me, Mr. Ryan, with another message from our series, Why Did Jesus Die? Now, today we're going to be taking a look at the Jewish religious system. That's what this tower represents. If you remember, the Jewish people are the family tree that Jesus was born into, way back at the start with Abraham. Now, at this point, there's hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people that have been born in his family tree, and Jesus was one of them. And if you remember, it was that family tree that God was going to use to bless all the other families. And it was through Jesus who was a part of that tree. And also we talked about how Jesus was the promised king that would come and save the people of Israel, as well as everyone else. Now, this religious system, this Jenga tower, is super duper important because it has a lot to do with why the Jewish people decided that Jesus needed to die. So, listen, this red brick right here, by the way, I'm gonna cheat in the game of Jenga by holding this here, but this red brick is super important. If you notice, it's kind of, right in the middle there, and this represents the line of good enough. You see that, kids? This right here is the question. Am I good enough? The Jewish religious system attempted to answer that question. So they would take the commandments that God gave and they would basically allow people to try as best they could to measure whether or not they were above this line or below this line. As a Jewish person, the question was always, am I good enough? And so some people, kind of wondered where exactly this line fell. Did it fall down here? Or maybe it was up here? I mean, if it's up here, it's bad news for everyone down here, right? But it's good news for people up here. But if it's down here, then I guess it's better news for most people. So the question always became, how good was good enough? Where did this line fall? So when Jesus showed up, he taught about this. He talked about the law and the religious system that the Jewish people had built. Let me read you what he says in Matthew chapter 5. In Matthew chapter 5, verse 17, Jesus said this, "Don't misunderstand why I have come. I did not come to abolish the law." I didn't come to get rid of this. It says, I didn't come to abolish the law or Moses or the writings of the prophets. He says, no, I came to accomplish their purpose. I came to have them actually be what I intended them to be. What he's saying is that the Jewish people, the religious leaders, have taken God's law and they've turned it into this, and this is not what it's supposed to be. So he goes on from there and he starts to talk throughout the rest of Matthew chapter 5 about all these things that the people had been taught. He says, you guys have been taught that if you don't murder someone, then you're okay. He says, but I tell you that if you hate someone, then you've already murdered them in your heart and you've got some serious issues. He also says, you've heard it said to love your neighbor, but I tell you that you should love your enemies. In other words, what he keeps doing is he keeps saying, you've heard it said that this is how good you need to be, but he says, I'm telling you, it's up here. And that's what he's trying to clarify, guys. For years and years and years, the religious system taught that somewhere in here, there was a line. Somewhere in here, there was a line of how good you had to be. But Jesus says, no, listen, none of you are good enough. None of you. Now that sounds like a really, really depressing thing, which I could understand why you'd say that. But ultimately, what he's trying to get them to do is to understand that God's law wasn't given to us to make any of us feel like we're good enough. God's law was given to us so that we could see, oh my goodness, I am a sinner. I've made mistakes. I've made bad choices. I am not perfect. In fact, the very last line in this passage, the very, very last line in Matthew chapter 5 is this. It says, but you are to be perfect, even as your Father in heaven is perfect. In other words, kids, he's taking this system that used to tell people that if you're above this red bar, you're good enough, but if you're below it, you're not. And he's saying, listen, none of us measure up. None of you, I should say, because Jesus was perfect. So he says to the people, none of you measure up, which a lot of people spent their entire life realizing they didn't. If you were down here on the bottom of this tower, you knew I'm not good enough anyway. Who do you think got the most upset when Jesus said that none of you measure up? I believe it's the people up here. The people that felt like they were better than most people, the people that felt like they were good enough on their own. They were self-disciplined, they were holy, and they were the religious leaders. They were the people that led the Jewish religious system. They were the people that had a really hard time with Jesus. They were the people that everyone looked up to because everyone felt like, oh, well, they're up here in the good enough section. But Jesus said, listen, no, none of you are good enough. That's why everyone needs my grace. Jesus came with this incredibly good news that no one is good enough, but I love all of you anyway. I love you so much that I'm gonna die for you. I'm gonna pay for your sins so that anyone and everyone can be seen as righteous in God's sight. This is incredible news for everyone, but a lot of the people that had worked really hard to find themselves up here, a lot of these people didn't like this idea. They didn't like the idea that everyone was sinners. Everyone needed grace. In fact, I would argue that what Jesus did essentially, although he didn't want to destroy the law, what he ended up doing was taking this and doing a little bit of, let's see, basically that. Basically what he did is he said, listen, everyone is broken. Everyone has issues. Everyone needs grace. We've talked so much about grace in this youth group, in this children's ministry. We've talked so much. But it's the people at the bottom that were receptive. The people at the bottom loved this. Wait, I thought I was never going to be good enough, and now you're telling me about grace? This is amazing. But it's the people at the top that didn't like it. It's the people at the top that said, this guy needs to be silenced. This guy has got to be shut down. He is telling people things that ruins this tower we've built, this tower where we're the best and everyone looks up to us. Jesus came and said, no, that is not what I gave you the law for. I gave you the law so that you could see that you're a sinner who needs my grace. And so Jesus ends up from this point forward having to teach over and over and over again against the lifestyle and the teachings of these religious people. The very next chapter, Jesus starts talking about, people, how when they pray, how certain people, the hypocrites he calls them, which many of them he's referring to are the religious leaders. He says when they pray, they stand in front of people, they go, oh dear Lord, I thank you for making me so holy. And they do this big dramatic prayer so that people can see it. He says, no, don't do that. Just pray quietly to yourself, between you and God. Don't do it for show. He talks about when people give, how some people, when they give money, they drop loud coins. Just, oh, look at all the money I'm giving people. This is what he's saying the religious people do. The people at the top of that tower love to be seen as holy by others, so they behaved in such ridiculous ways. And Jesus is saying, listen, that is not what it's about. What it's about is recognizing the fact that, yeah, I'm not perfect. Yes, I've made mistakes. No one is perfect except Jesus, right? And so we are invited to embrace that truth and to rest in his truth, his grace and his love. So kids, it's incredibly good news that Jesus came to bring, but for some people that had worked really hard for a long time to build themselves at the top of this religious tower, they didn't like Jesus' message at all. In fact, they hated it so much they decided he needed to be silenced. And that is why they decided he had to be killed. He had to be silenced and done with once and for all. We're going to look some more into this in the weeks to come. We're coming up to Easter, which again is the celebration of resurrection, but it also is the reminder that he was nailed to the cross by the Jewish people who had the Roman soldiers do it for him. Kids, I hope you've gotten what I've been trying to communicate here. I love this message because it was an important one for me to get. I hope that you guys understand that this message that might seem like such bad news, that none of us are good enough, is actually the most important thing we can understand. That we need grace because we're not good enough on our own. But God loves us so much that he sent his son to die on the cross and take our sins and pay the price, and we could have his righteousness put onto us, and now we can be good enough because God sees Jesus when he sees us. That's pretty awesome. I'll talk to you guys next week. Peace out. All right, kids, we had a great time while you guys were watching the message. I mean, I did the message already, so I didn't, and she'll listen to it later, but we were practicing something that I was actually considering having be my talent for the game that we're working on, where you guys send us your special talents.
Talent?
Yes, where you guys at home send us videos with your camera sideways at ryan.beaver@rancho.tv. Send me those videos, and we will put you in the show. I was working on one of my talents, which is hand origami. Yeah, we were practicing it. I mean, so listen,
I know,
kids.
I'm acting surprised,
Yes.
but I actually know what's coming.
Origami is something where you take paper and you fold it into these really cool shapes, but hand origami is when you do stuff like this, where you go, let's go with this one. Oh. Ah.
That one's kind of
What do you think? Davido, check this one out. Look at me, Davido. Okay, kids, we try and make him look at this. He would have had to do something. You got
Did you
one?
guys ever do this one? This
Yes.
is the church, this is the steeple, open the doors, and there's all the people.
Nice. Check this one out, kids. You ready? Watch this. You ready? Hold on. This one is called the coffee table.
Ooh.
See? Because you can set your drink on there. Go ahead.
Oop.
Oh! That one's pretty cool. All right, you have another one?
Little bunny food.
Oh,
Remember that one?
That one is
And
truly...
he turns into Mr. Fox.
Yes. This one right here, I call the whistle.
That's not
Hold up.
hand origami.
Look, I'm folding my hands up. And then last but not least, shall we?
Yes, here we go.
Sing it.
Some say love, it is a river.
Go ahead, Davido. Send it to. Oh, by the way, we can't go yet. This whole thing was to say that there's another Davido. His name is David Matsumoto. He's awesome, and he's the guy that teaches you guys how to draw. And today, what's he gonna be doing?
I don't know.
Origami.
Oh, I thought you were asking me what origami he's doing. I don't have a
No.
clue.
Today,
It's a surprise.
he's gonna teach you guys. Listen, stop. If you need to, pause the video right now. There's nothing wrong with pausing it. Go get some paper because he's gonna teach you how to make something super cool out of paper.
Okay, ready? Here we go. Let's
Ready?
do it because we planned this.
Want me to sing it this time?
Yes.
Some say love, I don't know the rest of it.
Hey there, Rancho Kids. This is me, Mr. David. I'm back again, and today I'm going to show you not how to draw, but we're going to do something really fun. Origami. It's a special way to fold paper to create fascinating and unique shapes. Today, I'm going to teach you how to draw this guy. This is what's called in Japanese culture a water bomb. So you can actually blow this up. Watch. It starts off as all folded up, and we'll blow it up, and I'll show you at the very end. So here's what you need. Just a square piece of paper, and that's all really you need to start off this thing. Here's the first thing you do. You'll probably already have that crease that you folded point to point. This shape is a triangle, right? Remember that shape. We're gonna use this shape a ton in this type of folding because it's very, very important to recognize shapes and know where they go when we do origami. So let's unfold it. Now I'm gonna turn it towards me, and I'm gonna fold edge to edge to form a giant rectangle. And be as precise as you can. Every little step counts in origami. They all build on top of each other. If one step is a little messy, it kind of sets everything off on a bad way. So now that I have this fold, I'm gonna add some more creases to make my life a little bit easier. So if you see, there's a crease right here. I'm gonna fold it over and use that bend that's already in the paper and fold it from edge to edge. And now I'll have this easy to make crease. We do the same thing on the other side. I see this crease right here, flip it over, and then I fold it and I use that natural bend that's already in there. Now I have another triangle. Now this is really important as well. I'm gonna unfold this. You're probably thinking, what, Mr. David? We did all that work and now it's gone. Well, no, we're building it up. All that work was for something. This is probably the trickiest thing you can do in this whole thing, so watch closely, kids. I'm gonna use these three creases on the right side. So I'm gonna pull it towards me, and then this is called a reverse mountain fold. I know it's a really fancy word. Basically, I'm gonna fold a mountain inside itself. So grab this crease, fold it in, And if you want help with an older brother or sister, or maybe a family member, they can totally help you with this part. And we're gonna use this crease, fold it in, so that this line matches the middle and goes point to point. And you'll get that. It's a reverse mountain fold. Now, again, watch me again. I'm gonna grab the other side. I'm gonna fold it in, fold it back on itself, so that I get crease to crease, or corner to corner, I should say. Sometimes you gotta finagle with it just a little bit in order to get the best crease in there. So again, if this part is probably the trickiest part, once you get past this point, it is smooth sailing. So I have that fold, I have this fold, and I will get back to a triangle. So just to show you, this is how it looks like on top when it's all done, and this is how it looks like here. Now, I have this triangle. I'm gonna grab my points. I'm gonna have 4 points here, right? Grab one of your points, grab the point, and go it all the way to the top point. Once they hit, squash it. Squash fold that thing. Now grab the other point on the left, bring it up to the point, go all the way to the top and squash it. Alrighty, now I'm gonna flip it over, grab this point up again, fold it up, I'm gonna squash it, and grab the other point, fold it up, and then squash it. I'm gonna go ahead and fold it so that I have these points all need to be facing away from me, facing up. It's very, very important. I'm gonna take the side corner and I'm gonna form some triangles. Fold it towards the middle so that now I formed a triangle here, a triangle here, and a triangle here. See that? 3 triangles and then 1 triangle here. That's why I said triangles are so important. I turn it around towards me, and then I fold that point up again so that I have a triangle here, triangle here, triangle here, and a triangle here. Now, guess what? I'm gonna flip it over and do the same thing to the other side. Boys and girls, we are almost done. Now this is the very important part to lock it into place. Because this thing, remember, it started off 3D, right, with air in it. We want to be able to lock it so that the air stays in. So I'm gonna look at the top and make sure I have the right side. Let's see, I have points that are loose here, and then this side that is kind of all put together. I want the side that's all loose. So I'm gonna take the side that's loose, and I see this flap right here. Remember the triangle shape? Well, I'm gonna fold it from corner of one triangle, of one side of the triangle down to the bottom of the triangle, so that I form a smaller triangle, just like that. Then I take this triangle again and I fold it back, and I slightly unfold it. Now, this part here is what locks it into place. You see this little hole right here, this little gap? You kind of wiggle in there. Sometimes you can use a pencil to. Wiggle in. Don't be too forceful with this. Remember, it's paper, so it's very fragile. And I'm gonna tuck it. Just like, you know, when your mom or dad tuck you into sleep. We're tucking this corner, this little triangle, into its little bed, into its hiding spot. Just like that. Let's do it again. I'm gonna take the other corner, fold it corner to corner to form a little triangle. I'm gonna fold it backwards, and then I'm gonna find under the covers here, I have a little gap, and I'm gonna tuck this triangle into bed. Great job. We're gonna do it one more time on the other side. All right, kiddos, the folding is done, but we gotta blow it up. That's why it's called a water bomb. So you're gonna look for one side. I don't see a hole here, but the other side, I see a little gap right there. That's where you'll blow into it just like a balloon. So you're gonna grab 2 opposite sides, kind of pull them a little against each other. You're gonna blow really, really hard. Turn around. Oops. And that is my inflated water bomb. So kids, I hope you have fun with this. It's a little tricky at times, so remember, you can always rewind this, pause it, figure out what you're doing until you move on to the next fold. These take a ton of practice to be really, really great, but only a little bit of practice to be really, really fun. Hope you guys have a great time. Thanks for joining me. See you next time.
So we're good then? That's a wrap?
Well, no. It's not a. Why? You think just because we usually do a game and then worship and then a message and then some sort of fun activity that we're done? No, we're not done.
My first rodeo. I mean, this is
Yeah.
you know, the
Guess
sequence.
what? Bonus.
What?
Bonus! You heard it here first, kids. It's a bonus segment, and it's coming very soon.
Okay.
That's right.
I'm like 50% elated and 50% offended.
Oh, why? Because I didn't tell you about it? I can't tell you these things because you and your tweeting, you always tweet things out, and then your followers get it.
I am not a tweeter.
Who is it that tweets out?
No, there's no. I don't even.
I gotta figure out, someone's reading my mail. Someone is reading my mail because I'm telling you, every time I have even a great idea, there's just a tweet and then everyone's like, oh, this is the next segment. Yeah.
And then the other Rancho Kids shows.
Yes, yes. No, you know, you fake Rancho Kids shows that try and steal all our good stuff. Well, this one, it is gonna be a real big hit. And when I say big hit, I mean like it's gonna hit the ground. And it might.
Like a smash?
It might splat. In fact, that's the game.
Splat is a good word.
Will
I like the word splat.
It splat. Will it splat? Kids, just say it with us right now. Splat.
Splat.
Splat. Chris Pratt. Splat. Will Chris Pratt?
Wait, will Chris Pratt be there?
Will Chris Pratt splat?
Oh.
No, we shouldn't ask that. Yeah, no, that's okay. That went too far. But we will find out whether or not certain things, when I launch them super high up into the air, will they splat when they hit the ground, or will they just go?
I love the word launch and splat.
Then you're gonna love this bonus segment. Kids, get ready, because me and my water balloon launcher, and maybe you, are gonna have some fun right now. This is a water balloon launcher, and the good news is it doesn't just launch water balloons, it launches all sorts of stuff that fits into this pouch right there. Now, I'm gonna be putting this thing on my foot, pulling up and launching things way up into the air. The question is, how big will they splat? Will they splat at all, or will they just completely come apart? We're gonna play a game where I show you an object, I tell you how far I think the two farthest pieces will be apart, and you try and guess if they'll be more than that or less than that. So higher than the number I say or lower. So let's see what the first item is. First up is the apple. My guess is 10 feet apart. There will be two pieces of this apple that are at least 10 feet apart. You say higher or lower.
I see trees of green,
Wow.
red roses too.
Wow. We have pieces of the apple that are all the way out to here. And there is the other apple. It was more than 10 feet. All right, we got a potato, which I think will splat a little less, but I'm gonna say 10 feet anyway. 10 feet, more or less.
I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky.
Wow.
I think about it every night.
Oh, shoot. Another major splat. Major. These things are pretty impressive. Okay. All right, this is a tomato, and I have a feeling this is gonna make a real big mess. I'm gonna guess that the farthest two pieces will be 10 feet apart. Higher or lower, kids? Are you nervous, Sandy?
Yes.
'Cause I'm as free as a bird now.
Oh, check it out! Check it out! Wow. Oh my goodness. It didn't splatter at all. It just kind of, I don't know what you'd call that. It just squashed. Next up, we got a kiwi. It's pretty firm. I am guessing that there will be a splatter, although the ground is softer than I expected because of the rain, so I still think we're having a splatter of 10 feet or more. What do you think, higher or lower? There it is.
We're breaking
We're
free.
soaring, flying. There's not a star
Wow. Oh my. No splatter again. This is crazy.
It's a little gravel.
The apple and the potato exploded. These guys are just squashing. We have a pear. It's hard. This one has to explode. So here we go. A pear. 10 is the number. Higher or lower. 10 feet apart.
I'm sailing away.
Wow. Okay. This one has a little splatter. There's the majority of it. We have a piece here. Is there any other piece? There, right here. Right here. I don't think that's 10 feet. All right, we have an onion. Disgusting onion. But based on everything else, I'm saying no splat. So I'm gonna go to 5. 5 is the number. Do you think one piece of this will be 5 feet apart? Let's launch this baby up and see what happens.
Hey, hey. Bye, bye, bye. Bye, bye.
Oh, shoot. Wow. That was pretty gnarly. No splat. I mean, we have some pieces blowing away now, but I think this is the farthest we got. That's not 10 feet. I don't want to touch that. So let's go. We got a mango. I don't know. None of them really been splatting. This one does feel kind of squishy. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I'm gonna go with 5 again. 5 feet. What do you think, kids? Will it splat? Oh, nothing. Nothing. It didn't even explode. Wow. Kiwis are, they should make cars out of kiwis. Look at this thing. Didn't even break. Miss Sandy, I'm thinking the newest thing in car safety is make cars out of kiwis.
Or
and people will
mangoes.
survive. Oh, it's a mango. Yeah. Mangoes are the best. Yeah, my fault. My final object is an egg. Kids, this is not a regular egg. It's a hard-boiled egg, so it's kind of solid inside. It won't splat with the yolk and everything. But will it splat more than 5 feet apart? That's my question. I'm gonna try and get this baby way up in the air.
And baby, all I need for you to know is like a bird, I'll only fly away. I don't know where my soul is. I don't know where my home is. And I need for you to know.
Yes! Yes! It did! This one definitely did. I saw pieces fly. Where'd they go? Where did they go? Oh, right here. That's a splat. That thing went so high up in the air that it actually splatted at least 15 feet apart. Kids, that was science. Somehow what we just did was science and it was fun. Back to you, Miss Carrie, and myself, the less winded version of myself. This was fun. We're gonna do it again.
Oh. I'm exhausted.
Why?
I seriously had no
Why?
I had no idea how much a bonus segment would take out of me, but that was, whoa.
Oh my goodness.
Kids, are you okay? If you need to hydrate, pause it, hydrate it. In fact, you know, could you just...
What? I don't understand.
You know what?
I
I kind of feel bad about the whole maybe I tried to start by myself. Why don't you go ahead and finish this by yourself while I just get some air.
I feel like we start things together, we finish things together. Like that's how I like to roll.
Okay. Well,
So, can
I'll
you
just I'll nod.
wipe
I'll
the
just
sweat from your brow?
I'll just be the pretty face nodding over
Take a
here.
couple deep breaths to be the pretty face. Oh my goodness. Okay, you guys. It has been so much fun. Thank you for joining us for our 52nd episode.
Wow. Maybe that's why I'm so tired.
Let's just make year 2 even better. How about that for a plan? But
I'm good with it.
You're gonna need to rest up.
I'm good with it, kids. I'm gonna go drink some Gatorade and do a little ice bath. That's what you do to get rid of soreness. So hey.
Thank you for sacrificing your body
Yes,
for
yes.
the kids, for our entertainment, for all
Worthy
this
cause.
splat.
A worthy cause, kids. We'll talk to you next week. Take it easy.
See you next time, guys.